Hi kids, welcome back to your normal classes. So now let us begin with another chapter, chapter 7, conditional statements in Java. Decision making. The decision making is an important aspect of our life. It guides us to do our work in a right direction based on the available situations. It also helps to choose a specific action to be taken depending on a given condition. So let us see this with a real life example. Here in this diagram, you have seen that the decision has to be made based on whether to take umbrella or not. That is, decision is based on taking the umbrella. So, taking an umbrella is based on the decision. That is, if it is raining, then I will take the umbrella, else no. Okay, so the condition here is if it rains. That is a condition. And another example, if I get at least 10 rupees, I will buy chocolate or else I will buy candy. So here the condition is based on 10 rupees, the amount of rupees. And in textbook you have an example, that is if age is greater than 19, then you are selected to a senior team or else you are selected to a junior team. And like if your age is greater than 18, then you are eligible for making a vote, casting a vote, or else you are not eligible for casting a vote. So there are lots of ifs that we come across in our daily life, which is called as decision making. Similarly, in computer programming, we also need to carry one action out of two or more actions based on a given condition. So, in this chapter, we are going to discuss decision making statements in which flow of control plays a vital role in condition based operations. So, let us start with flow of control. So, let us see what is flow of control. You all know how to write a basic program, a simple program that you were learning from last year. Okay, so now I'm going to talk about how the statements are getting executed in a program, in a Java program. So as soon as a command is given to execute a program, so after typing the code, as soon as a command is given to execute a program, the control reaches the first statement of the program. So when you give the run command, the control reaches to the first statement of the program. So first statement will be class any class name. Okay, and it keeps executing the statements sequentially unless end of the program is reached. So it executes the first statement, then the second statement, then the third statement, then the fourth statement till the end of the program. It gets executed sequentially. So such movement of control is termed as flow of control. So flow of control means the control of the program, how it's run from the beginning to the end. And this flow of control is divided into three types. First one is normal flow of control. Second one is bidirectional flow of control. And finally, we have multiple branching of control. So in this chapter, we are going to mainly focus on bidirectional flow of control, because normal flow of control already you know. So once again, let us see all these things in detail. Normal flow of control. So it is a normal procedure where the control keeps on executing each and every statement of the program on the basis of top-down approach. So this is the type of flow that you people were practicing from last year. That is, all the programs without if statement was following the normal flow of control. Okay, so that means each and every statement in that program will be executed from top to bottom. So here is an example for normal flow of a program. So the program you might have been known already. Class average marks public static void main scanner sc is equal to new scanner of system.in. And you know why we are using scanner, because we are getting the values from the user. Then in the physics biochemistry, double average. So we are asking the marks of physics, chemistry and bio. So physics, chemistry, bio is received in PHY, BIO and CHE. Then average will be calculated, that is physics plus bio plus chemistry divided by 3, and that will be rounded off, and the rounded figure will be printed off here in the system.out.println statement. So this is a program. So according to the normal flow, import java.util.star happens, then average mask class declaration happens, then scanner will be initialized, then physics chemi PHY, BIO, CHE will be initialized, then average will be uh, initialized, then enter the marks in physics, chemistry, bio, that will be displayed on the screen. Then it will allow the user to enter the physics marks, bio marks and chemistry marks. Then the computer will find out the average. Then that average rounded off will happen. Then that rounded off value will be printed out. So let us see whether it is getting executed in the same way. So we'll run and check the program. Average marks is our program. So run it. Enter the marks in physics, chemistry and bio. So that was the first output statement. That is why we are able to see only in the terminal screen. So I will be entering the marks of physics, chemistry and bio. So when you press enter key, then average marks in rounded off form is 101.0. So average was found out, then the rounded off form was found out, then finally average marks and round off is printed out. So this is how the normal flow of a program happens. The second type of flow of control was bidirectional flow of control, also called as conditional flow of statements, or else bidirectional flow of statements. Sometimes it may happen that you wanted to operate a block of statements when the given condition holds true. In case of given condition is false, the execution of the current block should be ignored and the control should move to the execute another block. So that means like if any condition is true, then a set of a set of statements written inside a block should be executed. If that particular condition is false, then a set of statements should be executed. That means you have to skip a set of statements based on the condition. Either of the block should be executed. So the control execute a specific block of statements based on a given condition. Only a specific block of statements will be executed based on the given condition, and that is known as conditional flow of statements. That means we are skipping a block of statements based on our need. Following are the basic conditional flow of statements. They are if statement, if and only if statement, if else statement, if else if statement and nested if statement. And in this session we will be discussing about if statement, if and only if statement and if else statement. First let us see about if statement. This statement is used when a statement or a block of statements to be executed based on a given condition holds true. In case the condition is false, it ignores the block and moves forward with the normal flow of control. Let us see the syntax. If condition, then statement. That is, if if should be small letters, inside the round bracket you should give the condition. Then if it is only one statement, then no need of brackets, a block. So only if it is only one statement, if condition, directly you can write statement. Or if there are multiple statements to be executed inside the if block, that is if any condition, if this condition is true, then if there are multiple statements to be executed, then it should be inside a block, and block should be within the flower brackets. So statement 1, statement 2, statement 3, and you can have multiple statements. If statement example 1, int a is equal to 10, if a is greater than 0, that is if the a value is greater than 0, then system.out.println the number is positive. Example 2, int a is equal to minus 10. If a is less than 0, then there are multiple statements to be executed. That is why it is inside a block. So system.out.println number is negative. Then I wanted to make it positive. So a will be multiplied with minus 1. So minus 10 will be multiplied with minus 1. So the number will become minus 10 into minus 1, that is 10. Then system.out.println now the number is positive. So this is an example for simple if. The second category of conditional statements is if and only if. That is, it is a logical situation in which multiple statements can be operated separately. That means like if you have multiple conditions like condition 1, condition 2, condition 3, there are multiple conditions to be checked, then you can use if and if statement. Syntax is if condition 1 statement 1. So condition based on this condition 1 statement 1 will be executed, and if you have multiple statements to be included, then you can put it inside the block. That is, after if condition 1 start a block, write the statements statement 1, statement 2, statement 3, all the statements, then close the block. Then again another condition, if you want to check another condition, then again if condition 2, then based on that statement 2, then condition 3, then statement 3, and you can have numerous number of conditions. Let us see one example. If a is less than 0, that is the first condition. If it is less than 0, whatever the value a is entered by the user, if it is 0, less than 0, then it is a negative number. And second condition is if a is greater than 0, then definitely the number is a positive number. If a is equal to 0, then the number is a 0. So since only one statement is included for if, there is no block written. If there are multiple statements, that is if more than one statement if we want to execute within if, then it should be inside a block. Let us see the next category, that is if else statement. It is a logical situation in which either of the two actions is to be performed depending upon the specific condition. When the condition is true, it performs one set of statements, otherwise it performs another set of statements. That means only one set of statements will be executed based on the condition. Syntax is if condition statement 1 else statement 2. That is, if the condition is true, then statement 1 will be executed. If the condition is false, then else part, that is statement 2, will be executed. Let us see one example. If m is greater than n, whatever may be the value m and n is having, if at all m is greater than n, then the maximum value, max variable, will be initialized with the value m, or else the maximum variable will be initialized with the value n. So if this condition is true, max is m. If this condition is false, then max is n. Let us see a sample example program based on if else. So this is a program to check whether a triangle is possible or not. A triangle is possible if all the three angles of a triangle adds to 180 degree. Okay, so let us see the program. Import java.util.star class triangle public static void main scanner sc is equal to new scanner of system.in, and A1, A2, A3 are the angle 1, angle 2 and angle 3. Then we need to know the sum. So sum variable is used. Then we are asking the user to enter three angles. So A1, A2, A3, three angles are received. Then sum is found out, that is sum is equal to a1 plus a2 plus a3, and if the sum is equal to 180, you cannot mention 180 degree and all, because computer doesn't know whether it is a degree or radian, whatever it is. So sum double equal to 180. If the value of sum is 180, then we are printing out the triangle is possible, else system dot order println triangle is not possible. So this is a simple program based on if else. So we'll run and check the program. Before that, we'll compile it. No syntax errors. So triangle is our program. Right click and void main, and it is asking to enter three angles. So I'm entering 50, 40 and 90. So this is a right angle triangle, and we'll see whether it is possible or not. The triangle is possible because the addition of 90, 40 and 50 is 180. So based on these values, it gives a result that is triangle is possible. We will check with one more values. So I'm giving 20, 30 and 50. So the answer is triangle is not possible because the addition is not giving 180. So the condition is not true. So the else part gets executed, that is triangle is not possible. With this, today's session is completed. I hope you are clear with the conditional statements in Java. So far I have explained. Thank you.